Alright, so I have been thinking about making this video for some time now, and this one feels like a right time to make this video. So honestly, like I have appeared for so many interviews by now, and recently I was also attending a number of interviews, and I mean, a lot of those interviews results came as negative. Like I got rejected in so many of them. So I found out a few things and I really wanted to make this short video to share those few things, and it might help you in your interviews. My interviews were mostly technical, but this shall work for both technical and non-technical, the points that I'm about to say. So first things first, whenever we give an interview, after the interview is over, we basically try to get out of that situation. Like the interview is a stressful situation, so we try to get out of the interview room, maybe talk to our friends, try to know how their interview went, maybe try to look for the answers online, or maybe listen to some music, maybe go to some eatery or restaurant to eat something nice. But what I feel like the next 5 minutes after the interview are very crucial, because this is where you get to reflect upon what happened in that interview room. So maybe you gave the interview and the result might come as negative, but the result is yet to be declared. But as soon as you have finished the interview, you can just sit down for 5 minutes. It won't take more than that, and just reflect upon what happened in that interview. Maybe your interview was alright, but there are some small things that could have done better, that could have been done better, or maybe a few things that you might have answered correctly, but maybe you should have shown a little bit more confidence. Maybe you should have spoken a bit more, maybe you should have spoken a bit less, maybe you should have shown a bit more confidence, maybe you should have answered more promptly, maybe you should have thought before answering the question. So these are the small things that click with you as soon as the interview is done. So once the interview is done, you can just sit down for 5 minutes, maybe outside the interview room, or maybe as soon as you reach home, you can just sit down and reflect upon what happened in that interview room. Maybe it doesn't have to do with all the technical questions that you didn't answer. No interviewee or no candidate basically can answer 100% of the questions. I mean, the questions are made in such a way that you might or you are bound to miss some of them, or even if you prepare for 100%, when you're going for the interview, you can only deliver 80 to 60%. So that's a kind of known thing. But if you are delivering that 60 to 70 to 80% with confidence and with everything that are needed by the interviewer there for the job, you are likely to be selected. So after you have thought about those things, try to write them down, maybe in a piece of paper, maybe in a diary, maybe in your soft copy somewhere, maybe in your laptop or your phone. Just scribble them down so that you can have a look at them later. So it helps you to prepare for your next interview. So maybe in this one, what has happened. So no point in thinking that you could have done better. But these points that you have written down right now, you can use them and prepare yourself for the next one. So as soon as the next interview, as soon as you are done with this interview, you can write down those points. Just reflect for some time, write down those points, and then you can try to neutralize your mood. So really, you can do anything during this time. So maybe you can go to a park, listen to some music, talk to some friends. Maybe if you want to study, you can study. That's very good. But whatever you want to do, just do it. But just try to normalize your mood. But just don't take too long, because if we take about 2 to 3 days just to normalize our mood, then we will miss out of some important time that might be utilized to prepare for the next interview. A thing to remember is, do not get angry on the interviewer. I mean, it won't do any help, it won't do any good to you. So do not get angry on the interviewer, do not get angry on the company for giving you hard questions, do not get angry upon yourself for not able to answer the question. So it's all a part of the circumstance around you. So maybe they want a good candidate, like an extremely good candidate for the position, so maybe that's why they have given a hard question. Now if you're up to the level of it, you get it. If you are not up to the level of it, you don't get it. But they are at least giving you a chance to appear for the interview, so it's a good thing on their part. And no point in arguing over something like you studied some topics and you think some topics are irrelevant or not relevant to the job, but still they asked you those questions. So it's okay, you just say them that no, I actually didn't know like these are required, but I know now, so if I'm offered the job, then definitely I'll go through them. So I'll have to go through those things. That's it. I don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. Sometime back, when I was giving interviews, sometimes I thought like maybe the questions were too hard or too irrelevant to the job opportunity that I am applying for. But anyways, it gave me chances to learn more. I mean, there's no harm in learning more. So I tried to understand the pattern of the interview that's going on in there. Now, when you are working for an organization, or maybe when you're studying, you really don't know the market out there, like what they want or what type of questions they're answering in an interview. Now, once you start giving interviews, you get to know the outside market, like how they are framing the questions, what questions they want to ask you, what kind of body language that they are expecting. So these are the things that you get to learn when you start giving interviews. So even if you're failing in a number of interviews, that's fine that's absolutely fine. You're at least learning them. So I'll just summarize the points for you, because I just don't want the video to be very long or too exhaustive. I just want it to be very brief and to the point. So to summarize, point number 1 is just sit down for 5 minutes after the interview and jot down the important points that you can refer to for your next interview. Number 2 is neutralize your mood so that you are able to prepare for your next one as soon as possible. Number 3 is do not get angry on the interviewer or the organization that's offering you the job. And number 4 point is start preparing your next interview with the help of the points that you have written in number 1. So this video was a bit different because in most of the videos that I see on YouTube, they usually say about do not feel sad, or you have to get back up, you have to apply for more positions, look for positions those are more suitable for you, go through the internet, search for questions that are so that you can practice them more before the interview. Of course, those tips help, but I felt like these tips are something that are missing from the internet, and I felt like it was the need to put them onto the internet. So these are few tips that I practice. So whenever I get rejected in an interview, what I do is sit down for the next 5 minutes, jot down the questions that I couldn't answer, and I also reflect upon things that I could have done better. Maybe I could have maintained a better body posture, maybe I could have spoken less, spoken more, something like that. So I jot down those things and prepare accordingly for the next one. So I hope this one helped you guys, and thank you for watching this. And if it helped you, make sure you like, and thanks guys, bye.